Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Strategy Guide Collection show off. Apologize for the bandage. Hurt my thumb recently today. This is going to be part two. We're talking about Final Fantasy X-2 and Final Fantasy Dissidia in T, which I'm fairly new to. I've played a few RPG-related fighting games. A couple things. Again, I apologize for a couple of things. The angle as well as the lighting. I don't have a professional setup to be able to do videos like this. I also just realized like how fat my fingers are. Self-confidence blown. No, playing. I'm pretty confident. Um, Although I'm not very humble. Not a whole lot anyway. Anyway, let's jump into it. We're going to be looking at Dissidia first, and then we'll top it off with Final Fantasy. Okay, so Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, a fighting game. Obviously, there have been a few incarnations of Dissidia. I'm fairly new to the series, which is surprising as a Final Fantasy fan. I've been a Final Fantasy fanatic for a long time. Um, the series basically saved my childhood. I've gone into that in the gamer logs. I'm not going to do it here, but um, I will say a couple things that helped me. Final Fantasy helped me with my um, reading comprehension, as well as funny as it may seem, some life lessons. So this guide is amazing. It's in great condition. I can't remember if I picked this up at a local store or if I got it on Amazon, to be honest. Um, it's got obviously most of the notable characters in it. Um, my favorite is always, who do I always use? I played it, like I streamed it for a while. Actually, one note, a lot of people are still surprised that this game made it through. Oh, my team tends to compose of Yuna, Sephiroth, and Squall. Yeah, Yuna, Sephiroth, and Squall. So, um, it obviously brings in heroes from a lot of the games that came out before this. Clive and Joshua from Final Fantasy 16 is not in here. Um, some of the newer online expansions, some of those characters are not in here or in this game, but it would be cool. But I think they kind of abandoned the game, um, sadly. Although I could be wrong, but it's still really cool. I apologize for the camera freezing. There's nothing I can do. I think it's a wire. I've changed out the wire twice. Could be the camera, but the camera's still a pretty top-notch camera. So they've got levels from a lot of games. The noted levels. The soundtrack is amazing. I want to say actually this guide was a part of a bigger set, maybe. But I'm just kind of going through and flipping through here, so don't mind me. Bart's. Mm. Um, Speaking of, you see you got like looking cards here, the gallery and all that. In a recent gamer log, I showed off my Final Fantasy cards I'm collecting. I've only collected 2 boxes of booster packs. I need to get more. I also want to get a 2-player pack, Cecil, um, to play with Lady Psylocke. I think she'd get into it. Um, so gallery. What's really cool, I think this is the one. There is an interview with is that Ultimecia? That is Ultimecia, I think. Or no, whoever it is, she's definitely clad out. I forget who this is. Cloud of Darkness. Wait, who? Vanguard. Final Fantasy 3. Oh, okay. I never got to beat 3. I beat the first one. Well, okay, I almost beat the first one. Technically, I did. I beat Stranger of Paradise here on the channel, so it counts for something. I do have the original game with the map instruction guide ads box. Excuse me. Um, Great condition. I ended up resealing it just in case. I made sure that it didn't hold too hard. Giggity. The plastic, anyway. So, let's go ahead and flip through this real quick. I realize we're kind of going on time here. I try to keep this at 5 minutes or less. This mat's pretty slick. I love this mat, but it's pretty slick. Different things. Challenging Bahamut. Oh, here it is. This is the interview with mannequins. Boss battles. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is just an outline. Yeah, that's just one-player modes. You can go online. I haven't tried playing online. I'm not even sure if it's still fairly active, but I do have one of these that's got an interview in it. But aside from this being hardbound, I mean, it's a really obviously involved strategy guide. I did try playing as Titus. I couldn't get into him. I didn't like his play style. There's my dude, Squall. Final Fantasy VIII's always been a favorite. I need to find I had one for a long time. Excuse me. Back in the day, I had a near complete Final Fantasy PlayStation collection. But as happens when you live paycheck to paycheck, I ended up having to sell it to get half my rent. So I got a good deal. It wasn't too bad. Back then it was like $350. So it was a customer of mine, a client, I guess you'd say. I worked in retail, and we got to talking every so often. He became a pal. And he was like, well, I'll give you, so much for it. He still has it. Must have heard he still has it, but that was like, 15 years ago. I'm 40 now, so it would have been 25, give or take. But anyway, we're hitting over the mark here by a minute and a half, but I hope you enjoyed it. This has been Dissidia. And again, I apologize for the angle. I don't have a professional setup, but I do have other Dissidia guides we'll go through. But next up, we have Final Fantasy X-2, one of my favorites. Okay, so we have X-2, Final Fantasy. We got Yuna on the cover. This is where Yuna, Riku, and Pain were first introduced. In the game, they're known as YRP. One thing that always sticks with me when I hear YRP is Riku saying, YRP in position. It's showtime, girls. I'm just being funky. But in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Yuffie, there's a line that she refers to YRP. I made a short about that and I pointed it out, and apparently a whole lot of people didn't catch that. It's the shorts here on the channel. But this is Final Fantasy X-2. I've had this since the game first came out. I still have my first game, but I mainly play the remake on PS5. This strategy guide is amazing. Just amazing, as are most strategy guides. It's shown some wear, obviously. I've used it, but it's freezing. Sorry. Okay, so this is the strategy guide. I got a little bit of leeway here. This is different mascots. I'll kind of go through them a bit here. We got Yuna, we got Riku, we got Pain. We got the different characters. I'm bad with details, y'all. I always am. I can replay a game so many times, but I can only remember certain character names. It's a memory problem in that regard. It's my ADHD at play, I think. LeBlanc is obviously very memorable. Her minions are pretty funny, especially the big guy. You can capture them to use in the Fiend Arena, which is why this game is one of my favorites, because it was the first Final Fantasy. To my knowledge, I could be wrong, to my knowledge, I allowed you to capture creatures, make them a part of your team. Wait, did 8 do that? I don't think 8 did that. No, 8 didn't do that. And the child class system was really good too. I liked it. The design of the costumes. They obviously, I mean, look, let's be honest. They went for like a Charlie's Angels thing here with Final Fantasy X. I think they pulled it off. I think it did really good. Um, one of the I think it was the lead singer from Sweetbox did 1,000 Words, the singing part that Yuna did, the Unify Spira. Um, I've collected most of the dress figures in the game. I think the only ones I haven't actually gotten are which ones don't I have? I've got about 550 hours clocked in Final Fantasy X-2 via the remaster on PS5. Um, I think I've gotten all of them. Oh no, I don't have Lady Luck. This is the one I don't have. But I've got pretty much everything else. Trainer's a favorite. I love. This was Yojimbo's dog in the first one, the summon. And of course these two are kind of original. I know they had monkeys in the first one. The monkeys were a part of. I think it was a forest scene over near the river where the shoe puffs are, and you got to travel with the shoe puff. But they may not look like that. But anyway, the mascots is overpowered, just straight up overpowered. Tonberry. Okay, so Tonberry and Cactuar, this little guy. Some of my favorite creatures. By the way, we're going to go over the time on this. I apologize. I'm kind of nerding out here. I haven't looked at this guide in a long time. Cactuar and these are the ultimates. I'll be honest, I rarely ever use these because when you get into the Fiend Arena and you capture creatures early on, you can level up the top level, you can max out their stats, you can just everything. And then at that point, you can do that at the start of the game for the most part. At that point, these are useless. This is where some of the power play in the game, the balance, kind of goes out the window. These are backgrounds. This was still in the era of having pre-rendered backgrounds in the games. These are some great shots. These are two very caring women. One very... I mean, what do you say about Titus, man? I mean, seriously. He's... he can be an idiot, but he's got a good heart. And then, you know, he would kick my ass, but I can't remember his name. But it's a tragic story, these two. If you don't know it, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's a tragic story. So we're going through the art collection. We're 5.5 minutes in. We're not even close to the actual strategy guide. Riku's a favorite. She is an Albed. Different eyes. This is Lulu. Lulu was popular for a couple of reasons, a couple of very large reasons. She's apparently, small spoiler, she's apparently pregnant in this game, but it never tells you like how far along she is. I think given the timeline of 10 and this, and you've got some like net showing. I think given the timeline, I don't know, maybe 2 months along. Well, I could be wrong. And here you have the Aeons, which are defeated. You can't recruit them, but you can fight them. So, and there's Yuna herself. So, anyway, that is the art. Let's go ahead and get to the strategy guide itself. Again, that's what makes this a great strategy guide. This is strategy guide. Obviously, Riku in the front, the girls in the back. I'm going to try to be careful here because, again, I use this over the years, and it's already kind of cracking along the spine. There's the gull wings. So, again, I apologize for the angle. It kind of looks weird in the videos, but it also kind of works. This is just a breakdown tool. Why don't we just flip through it real quick? This is the back of it. This is going to kind of shift around, but I'll do my best to keep it decent. Got a bestiary. I think there's a breakdown. Let me see if I can find one of my favorite fiends. Let me try to find it, and I'll point it out. It's kind of The pictures are kind of small, but behemoths are one of my favorites. The behemoths, the big guy right here. There is an epic fight in Final Fantasy 16 with behemoths. I love it. There's also, see if I can find them. By the way, Bahamut was my favorite summon. That and Anima in 10. I don't remember. Guardian Beast was cool. That was the dragon that was like Bated Breath, I think was one of the moves, and it removes shields and whatnot. Gemini is good. And armor, basically. In the Fiend Arena. Most of the ones like with the big guys, if you try to solo it, they're either good or they're not good. Like there's no in between that I've noticed. There's Tomberry. I have King Tomberry. I had him for a bit. I finished his story, which is also another great thing. All of these guys, all of the, like, every creature that you can capture, there's a story that plays out. You can even make Shinra, like Ultimate Shinra. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, that's some of those for the Fiend Arena. And then you've got more there. You can also capture Chocobos. And there's different things, but this is free agents for Blitzball. I was not a fan of Blitzball. It kicked my ass every time. I will own that. And this is just mini games. Different things. Some maps. Mean Road. Bavel. This is percentage. Percentage completion. Gotcha. I haven't 100%ed this game, even with over 500 hours clocked in it. But yeah, in the remaster, you have the international. I forget. It's like not a spin-off, but like a continuation of the game where you're going through a tower and you're fighting your way through. I haven't completed that yet. Not for lack of trying. I just lose interest. There's Ormy. But yeah. What's interesting, going back to the creatures, I've got a Tonberry that is a god in the Fiend Arena because I have he's consumed. You can consume items and accessories in the Fiend Arena whenever you power up creatures. He's consumed all kinds of stuff. Max stats. And he's got like godlike health, great hits. Tomberries are always known for one-shotting you throughout most of the games. And that's essentially what he does. I put Mug on him and it's really funny. They're so funny because they're so slow. But they'll kick your ass. But anyway. Alright. Well, y'all, that's Final Fantasy X-2. Thanks for hanging out. I went well over above for this strategy guide, but it was worth it. One of my favorites. A lot of people didn't dig it. I get it. But this game will forever remain in my heart, and I still play it to this day. Mostly for the Fiend Arena, but I beat New Game Plus. I haven't platinumed it yet, but this was my platinum back in the day because on PS2, I didn't get everything done, but I got 98%, just a guess-ish, of everything done. So, strategy guides were my trophy back in the day, and it was amazing. So, if that doesn't make sense, I essentially bought strategy guides. This one doesn't really count because I bought it at the time I bought the game, but if I had the strategy guide, odds are I beat the game. So that's what we have here. Anyway, stay safe, stay sane. Remember, you're awesome. Never throw it to you otherwise. Thanks for hanging out with me. We're going to have nearly a 20-minute video here, but I hope you all enjoyed it. See ya.